Hi guys, I want to talk to you about the potential for social media burnout, which, if you're watching this, who knows, maybe come back and watch the recording because it's going to be obviously posted to the page and I'm going to post it in the group. I'm actually just going to make sure I can post it across to the group now, but I want to talk to you about some tips for still being able to be creative and reach your customers as fast and as often as possible, yet not to get to the point of burnout because you're constantly looking at a screen or you're constantly reacting to your notifications on your phone, be that phone messages, email notifications, Facebook notifications, text messages. It can be incredibly on. You can be incredibly on when you work for yourself, as you know, but it also, everyone's got a different threshold for how much of that stuff that they can tolerate and how much before, I guess, you lose the balance, if that even exists in the first place, because I don't really think that it does. But I do think that if you put something in place like, I'm just going to make sure this is shared over to the group. If you put something in place like making sure, now I sound like an American, not that there's anything wrong with Americans, but if you put something in place like making sure you check in with yourself every single week as to what part of my routine worked, what didn't. Personally with me, I know if I'm cranky and not making enough time for the things that, I enjoy, and for everyone's enjoyment, that list is different. But if you're not making enough time for those things, the impact will be on your business because it's your entire life, right? I know I've been that stressed out in business before, that I've lost relationships, my hair's fallen out before. I used to have so much problems and issues with tech, or this is what I thought anyway, laptop stuff, that I even broke one of my old laptops out of frustration because I'm a cranky person sometimes. Let me just pull this up on the laptop and share it over to the group so that if you're in the group you can see it as well. Does it show? Yep, it sure does. I'm just going to share that across. Yeah, so it's really, really important. I'm often... You just missed quite a good intro actually if you've just jumped on. I'm just going to share this over to the group. Be 2 seconds. I'll start with you in 30 seconds actually. My daughter says it's not 2 seconds. And how to stop it. Let me just triple check for spelling mistakes because I am fabulous at making spelling mistakes. Touch wood. Who cares? You've got to put your stuff out there anyway, right? No, I'm just checking it. Perfect. And actually, don't expect things to be perfect. It's the person that takes the most consistent action that's the winner. So it's one of the things, I guess, to definitely overcome any kind of burnout is that we're so bombarded with information these days. Like, obviously, we're, reading more, seeing more screens, absorbing more information than we ever have in, the whole evolution of the human species and all that stuff. I'm sure you've heard that before. So personally, and it's always a personal thing, there's no one rule for everybody, but what I find works for me is I'll have certain gaps in the week where I will have an hour or 2 or 3 or 4, half a day off social, off the computer, off technology altogether. I find with me personally, and relate it to yourself, that it actually makes me not present. It makes me, I'm constantly thinking about work. It makes me constantly, on the ball and stressed, and then I'm not present if, for example, I'm with family or friends. And if I'm with them, then I want to be with them because my morals and values are that I want to be the best person in all the relationships that I have. And I want to keep them because, like I said at the beginning, I've lost them before. So it's really up to you auditing yourself as to what works for you. Another good thing is maybe have 24 hours off a week. Now, what the time off actually allows you to do is, instead of you being so reactive all the time, is when you're not doing and you're stopping, obviously, yeah, it's a different kind of energy, but you will get creative ideas when you're not doing and you're not reacting. So when you're not doing and you're not reacting and you're just being with friends, family, or yourself, whatever suits you, whatever's on your list of things that you actually like to do, which I do believe is critical that you actually have that list. there are the times when you get the great ideas or the inspiration, or, you know, you'll have the download of the fantastic idea. Thanks, guys. Tell me who is on. Say hi. What tactics do you guys use, or have you actually felt that burnout kind of anxious feeling? I know it's totally individual to everybody. I've noticed from working with males and females, and I've been in a lot of business coaching groups where I am, you know, one of only 2 or 3 females out of groups of 40 or 50 men. I know the boys are much better at, you know, getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hi, Susan. They're much better at getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and smashing out their day, and whenever I would try anything like that, I'd be asleep at midday. So your routine really can work around what you want, but please, one of the most amazing things that I've ever done, and it was kind of accidental because I got a new phone and then wiped the apps off it, was just to take the notifications off the phone. You are the king or the queen of your time. So for you to be reacting to messages or reacting to notifications really means that you're a slave to that, does it not? And that is not an efficient way to run your time at all, is it? I mean, for example, in my 90-day course, I've told the girls doing that, and there's a couple of guys, but I've told them doing that, okay, like, I'll definitely be on at this hour and this hour, and if you guys got questions, ask me, and I'll be in there to give you my reactions. But otherwise, I've taught them to expect a reaction from me within 24 hours, and sometimes, like, even that's hard, but because I've said it, I'm going to do it. It's really up to you. That's maybe I'm getting better. Yeah, I don't think any of our stuff's individual. It's really everybody. It's a matter of what I said at the beginning was try to audit yourself at the end of the week. I know if I'm crankier, if I yell more at my daughter, just checking the time because I've got a call in a sec. If I yell more at my daughter, if I just hate life, like, my partner often jokes that I don't have a sense of humor anyway. And I've realized it's actually because I'm always on. Like, I've like, ever since I've met him, we've been together for 5 years, but in that time I've been like, it's full business. I went from being a real technical expert and getting really good at fixing the joints in the spine and all that stuff, being a Czech practitioner, and then a Pollock and Biosig stuff with all the hormones and the fat pinching and the supplements, and running online businesses with that, and then a physical face-to-face one, and, you know, signing up between 3 and 20 people a week sometimes into the gym business. And I remember I'd go to my partner's house and I'd be on the computer, and he so patiently would wait for me on the lounge. And I remember one night I kept him waiting until 1:45 in the morning because I went over to his house with my laptop, my old one that I smashed out of frustration. And, you know, I'd go into the spare room and just start hammering away because I'd have to upload these contracts and I had to do everything myself. And I was doing everything myself. And then I realized, hey, I wouldn't like to be treated like how he's treating me. And he pulled me up on it once. And he's got a very high tolerance level. I'm incredibly lucky. He's just a beautiful soul. He pulled me up on it once, and I thought, yeah, I wouldn't like to be treated that way. And because I have lost relationships before, I totally prioritize him and this human being and my daughter and my mum and, you know, the people in my close circle. So it's, what do you prioritize? And really self-audit yourself. It's really important to audit yourself. So now I try on purpose to not be on technology after 10 p.m. No, it's just me. Now, I'm doing it that way at the moment. I'm giving you my own story, I suppose, because what else have I got to relate it to? I've got all of you guys that I'm coaching, I've got your stories, but I'm relating it to me at the moment. You know, I just went through a phase of, for 6 months, probably staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning. So I've made my body a little bit more tired and sensitive, and I'm a bloody whinger if I'm tired and sensitive, so I'm not going to do that, because there's absolutely nothing to whinge about in this life. It's freaking amazing, really, isn't it? We get to be so grateful for so many things. But it's obviously gratitude and mindset, and all those mindset exercises are incredibly important. But self-reflection, you know, the whole self-awareness, the whole being aware of what's going on with your behavior, being aware of, are you being the best version of yourself? It does not mean that you can react to everything all the time. I you teach people how to do that with you as well. Like, you teach people how to react to you. Like, if you don't want people emailing you, tell them not to email you. I went through that whole 5-year period, probably the first 5 years maybe, of running like 30 groups a week and having contractors. I'm not sure what that says, Jake. It's a spelling mistake. God, that was awesome. Maybe having I'm the queen of spelling mistakes. My Samsung has actually just updated itself, and now I can't really make a text or a Facebook message without having 10 things. Hey, Jackie, thank you. It takes one to know one. Now I've totally lost track, because that is definitely what happens to my brain when I drink coffee. So just be aware of yourself. Everything's always, I think, comes back to that. And what I've realized over the years is actually when I do stop, when I'm not, marketing or doing it or training someone or whatever, when I'm not doing that is when I get the ideas. Like, the ideas come so full and fast that I actually can't keep up. If you guys need any ideas, please, God, put something below, because I cannot help but come up with 1,000 ideas for a million different things, and it's just the way my brain works, which is why I love coaching in my small group, because I feel like I get to live through them. There's girls that, they might need an idea for speaking or this or that or whatever, and it doesn't matter, even if I personally haven't been in the circumstance. It's just, that's my new art, I also love training and learning about the body. Why am I talking about myself? Because I've got you, and there's no one else on the other side of the conversation. These videos, they're just like that, aren't they? Let me check the time. Have you guys got any questions? Because I'm going to jump off. I've got a phone call with a client in a second. But really, I guess the moral of the story is check in with yourself. You are critically important to the running, if you're a woman especially, of probably everybody in your whole immediate close circle. So look after yourself, and I don't necessarily mean that you have to have a bath or a facial. You to do that if you want to, but do whatever's good for you. And when you're having a bath or a facial, turn the bloody phone off. I was talking to one of my girls the other day. She said, yeah, I had a bath. That's when I was making all my posts. That's good if you don't burn out. Everyone, it's like some people are built to be athletes. Some people are built to be accountants. Do whatever's natural, but audit yourself before it gets to the point of breakdown. But then also, you know what? I love the expression. I'm going to leave you with this. On the other side of a breakdown is a breakthrough. You can't go around stuff or over it or under it. You have to go through it. Love that. It's very true. Let me know if you've got any questions. May the force be with you, and have fun. You've got the best job in the world. Talk to you later, guys.